So you're thinking about moving to Keller, Texas? Well, in this video, we're going to be talking about how much bang for the buck you get when you're buying houses. And if you stick around to the end, we're going to show you what it takes to get into a brand new home in Keller.
And if this is your first time to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to be the first to know what's happening in the Texas real estate market, go ahead and hit that bell.
Welcome to the channel. My name is Tom Jung.
And I'm Jack Lisenby.
And we are local Dallas-Fort Worth real estate agents. If you are looking to buy or sell, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We get phone calls every day from folks just like you, whether you're looking to buy or sell. And if it is your first time at the channel, please, did you say hit the, you did already.
Yeah, hit the bell, subscribe, comment, give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. Just interact with the video,
I'm losing
please.
it. Yeah, just,
Please.
But yeah, we put out content just like this all the time. If you are from Keller and you're watching this video, we would love your feedback on what you love about Keller, your neighborhood, if there's any pros and cons about it, just to help others that are looking to move that way. So anyways, yeah, if you missed our other video, so there is a pro and con video. If you're not sure about Keller yet, that might be a better one to watch first. Come back to this one. We're going to jump into the different price points, what you can expect to get, all that kind of stuff. So you want to kick it off with our...
with our lowest price point?
Entry level to Keller?
Level?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
those cheap houses.
Entry level is a bit of a stretch. So if you're rocking the under $500,000 price point, we've got a good list of like what you can reasonably expect whenever you're buying in Keller. And actually, this is going to be a really good example. So the one I ended up pulling was Bursey Ranch. So these houses, they range from like 900 to 2,200 square feet. So a little bit more on the smaller end, but it's mostly going to be your starter homes and things like that in this price point. 2 to 4 beds, 1 to 4 bath. These were typically older houses built late 80s to late 90s time frame. So a lot of your architecture and things like that are going to reflect that time period. The lot sizes are not going to be big. So Keller if you want land in Keller, it's going to be very expensive because it's such a small city. Most of the houses around this price point, including this neighborhood, is the smallest one is about 1/6 of an acre up to about 1/2 acre. And then your finish outs are going to be things like your vinyl plank, your granite countertops, maybe wood flooring. Typically you'll have bay windows and things like that in your eating areas. So pretty typical builder stuff. Nice, but you're not getting like all the bells and whistles exactly. But one of the best amenities of some of these cheaper houses is that they're going to be closer to the highways. And for people who travel a lot, I know that's a big draw. So what you can reasonably expect is going to be higher end builder grade finish outs, smaller lots, usually smaller houses in 2 to 3 bed range.
Yeah, and a couple other things about Keller. We probably should have started with this, but so one of the great things about Keller is they have lower property taxes than a lot of the other cities, which is always great. I think it's 2.2%
That's pretty good
or something. Yeah, it's not bad at all.
What's Fort Worth, like 2.6?
2.68 in most places, yeah. So it's a little bit better in Keller. And then also, Keller also has a range of like, and I'm sure we'll probably talk about this a little bit later, but they've got, your cookie cutter subdivisions, but there's also houses on land. So if that's something you're looking for, I'm guessing you're going to talk about it here in a minute. But yeah, so like in that entry level range, those are typically going to be like your smaller houses. So like even like on the upper end, you're probably looking at like 2,200 square feet, something that's 3 bedrooms, maybe 2 living areas.
Yeah,
or,
I mean, that's a decent size for a small family, like maybe 3 people.
Yeah. So if you're looking for something bigger, once we get into the $500,000 to $700,000 range, you're gonna start to see houses that have larger floor plans and are going to be a little bit newer. So most of them in this price point are going to be probably early 2000s to like 2010. You're going to see a lot. The example that we've got is Brickstone Villas. These are actually a little bit newer. They were 2016 to 2020 is when they were building these, and it's close to it's kind of close to the, I guess as close as you get to 35 W. But I think it was more they're villas, so there's like less yard space. I think maybe even they maintain the front yard for you. I can't remember.
It does have an HOA. I wasn't able to find a lot of the amenities for it, but with how small the community is, your neighbor might just be nice enough where they just take care of it while they're out there.
Yeah. But anyways, just their production level, they're nice production level homes, and a lot of them have some upgrades that you're not going to see in, your typical like Lennar or D.R. Horton home. I know some of the upgrades that went to these houses were a little bit nicer, but and they've got a pond back behind them, so if you want to go fishing or I don't know,
you just like water,
or take a power boat to the pond, you can go do that. But yeah, for the most part, you're gonna find that. I feel like that is the price range for most, as far as like if you're looking for like a good sized family home, that $500,000 to $700,000 range is going to be a pretty good fit for most of it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're moving to Keller, that's probably where you should start like saving or aiming to be anyway. You don't want to end up being at the bottom of any price bracket for a city, so that's a really good one. But if you're really looking for options, Keller shines just shy of $1 million. So the next price range we're going to talk about is the $900,000 to $700,000 range, and it gets
seven to nine.
700 to 900,000. Thank you for that range. And this is where it really shines, because Keller's just, I don't want to say all over the place, because that has almost a negative connotation, but like in a good way, like as far as options go. So I'll explain that in detail a little bit later, but we'll jump into Borland Oaks is the neighborhood that I picked for this one, because I think it's a really good indicator of that. You have houses that range from like 33 to 5,200 square feet, everything from 4 to 6 bedrooms to like 3 to 6 bathrooms. They started building this one back in 2007, and they wrapped up about 8 years later in 2015. These guys have like everything. I'm talking like ornate banisters and balconies, your overly ornate moldings, you get hardwood floors of all sorts of varieties, just the works, high ceilings, covered patios, a lot of them have pools. So it's sort of the point where you start running out of money for the house itself and just start adding to all of the frills and everything that just make the house really pop. So that's why I say that. And this one specifically was really interesting because they have their own community walking trail and cemetery, oddly enough.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, that bit of a downturn there at the end, but like I know that's a big draw for people. Like if you're making like a family home and you really want to settle like generationally, like some people like, hey, I just want to walk down, drop off flowers at the family grave.
I bet they got some baller trick-or-treating in that
Oh
neighborhood.
man, yeah, they set up like Halloween parties. That might be a little disrespectful, but if they're all cool with it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what you can really expect. So if you're looking under $900,000, like it's the world is your oyster in Keller, because you have everything from like the mid to late 80s to brand new homes that fall into that category. So you get everything from like older late century architecture all the way to like hyper modern.
Yeah, and I think and then above the $900,000 price point, there's plenty more in Keller. Once you go above that price point, I mean, you're looking at all custom type homes, or you're looking at homes with land. There's not I don't think there's like a ton of like properties with a lot of acreage, but they do come up.
Yeah, every now and then.
Yeah, and so it's definitely out there. I think if you are looking for something that's like 5 acres, 10 acres, or something like that, you probably want to widen your search to Keller and some surrounding areas, just because it's not an everyday thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you go above that price point, I mean, you're getting into the custom stuff. Everything's gonna be very nice. It's gonna be more of a preference of exactly what price point you're comfortable with, how big of a house you want to go with. There's a ton of stuff in the 300,000 to 400,000 square feet, 3,000 to 4,000 square foot range, as far as the homes go. So, and then if you want to go new in Keller. So new is not something that they have a lot of, and we were just checking into this. Probably the cheapest the least expensive. Cheap is probably not a good term to use when it comes to new homes.
Not when it starts in like the 700,000s.
Yeah. So you might be able to find one from like 7 to 900,000, and most of the builds that we're seeing are kind of like one-off, where there was a lot that was left over, somebody built on it. There are a few subdivisions that are being built out, and usually these subdivisions is like somebody got a hold of a couple acres and they put a street in, right? There's a cul-de-sac. So the ones that are going up right now, I mean, they're close. Most of them are going to be around $2 million if you're looking to buy a new home. And they had some really cool ones we were looking at. Just super modern.
I was like, it looked like something out of like a rap video or something, like MTV Cribs.
Yeah, I mean, it had everything you would want.
Way classier.
Yeah, so it's got like the wine cellar. It's not a cellar. It's a glass
the wine
door.
rack. Like, I don't even know what, like...
It's not called a cellar. What would you call it?
I don't know. Wine room?
Yeah.
It was like a big glass door in front of like a giant, like 2 walls of just wine racks all the way to the ceiling.
Do you still call it a cellar? I think it's still called a cellar.
I guess, but it's not a cellar. A wine closet? Tell us what it is in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. It's sad that we don't know the verbiage for this.
Yeah, school a realtor today.
Anyways, but game room, just like, I think most of these were on decent sized lots. I mean, most of them are like 4,000 to 5,000 square feet. So if you are looking for something new, Keller definitely has it. It's going to be cheaper than Southlake.
That's for sure.
So those are going to be like your two. I don't know. I think Keller and Southlake in a lot of ways are comparable as far as the homes go and what you can find. You're just going to pay more in Southlake.
Yeah.
But apart from that, that's all we got for this video. And anything else?
No, Keller's just a great place to live, man. Beautiful city.
So, cool. Yeah, if you have any questions, if there's something we didn't cover, let us know. And as always, if you're looking to buy or sell, remember to keep calm. Call Tom.